Yeah.
But if you want a kayfabe kind of like kayfabe creator, if you want something to be able to like go back to old school wrestling where you had like the David Letterman knockoff, and I had like the wrestling late night talk show where you got Andre on to shoot on Hogan, and then you had they had their angle where it sprinkles off then into their WrestleMania 3 match, or Roddy Piper mouthing off of Mr. T or something like that, or just Bobby Heenan giving out about everyone. You know, that's that something there's something like that missing in the rest in the WWE ecosystem. An excuse to go onto a TV show and give out about somebody,
Yeah.
or ruffle feathers. Like you can't tell me now that a Chris Jericho talk show and you put Valkyrie or Valkyria and Bailey together and then he starts fucking poking and prodding.
Yeah.
There's your fucking storyline like
Like he did it.
catalyst there.
He is the guy to do it. He's done it for ages.
Yeah.
He's been the guy with the Geratron fucking 5,000. Like he is been probably the best in-ring interview segment. I mean, no one else has done it to as good a success since him.
Yeah. It's also been
I
a format that's died out horrendously. Like it's that kind of thing where like no, I don't think any like modern wrestling audiences care for that type of segment anymore,
No, the
which is
format's dead.
fair. Yeah, the format's
But
dead. Yeah,
but a fucking an hour long podcast where they just shoot the shit and talk and help get themselves like Grayson Waller's a great fucking he's a great fucking talent, but going
mm,
fucking nowhere.
yeah,
To the point now he's in the New Day ish. And you'd
too
want to
fucking
be
nuts.
yeah, I'd want to be fucking hanging around Kofi and fucking Xavier just to get any fucking
Yeah,
crumb of their fucking talent and skill and allure. But you can just see that Jericho has it. Always
mm,
has.
yeah,
Always has. And he's he's a man without a team at the moment.
yes,
He is like he is an all timer. And
mm,
we've seen him be unproduced.
mm,
And you can just see that, oh, he's a guy who needs to be produced. And when he has a good manager with him and a good producer with him to just rein him in and focus him up, um, he's brilliant.
mm,
And still to this day, the fucking Festival of Friendship fucking rings true for me.
mm,
It's probably one of my favourite segments of all time.
yeah. He,
That
he is his one skill has been able to find something to latch on to, get it over, make it work, and then let it die. Like as you said, the festival of friendship, it has been always something. And then even if he lets it die, he just has to do it once again 2 years later, and like people will just go, "Oh yeah, I remember that," and then it's back again. He is that is his one. He is one actual wrestling skill is getting stuff over for a set amount of time and then move on. Try something else
it's
again.
it's something that he'll I like I, I the weirdest thing is the fact that OTT are doing it. They're doing an in-universe podcast,
Yeah,
and it works.
yeah, that's a
And it
great
help
example.
it
That's a
is
great example of how it does work. Like
it
it's
helps
yeah.
get the right type of people over. You get to know them a bit more. You get to see their motivations a bit more, and it literally changes how you see them when they debut. I didn't give
Hmm.
a flying fucking shite about Boots. Now Nathan Murphy forever. Saw a podcast with him, thought, God, this lad can fucking talk. Jesus, he can turn up the intensity when he needs to. And then he walked out in the Spiegel and I went, fucking great. And then he had a fucking brilliant comedic match with Keane Noonan. And modern memes were used that I didn't understand, that all the children laughed. And I went, right, I am now that guy. I was,
You're in your 30s now, Brian,
yeah.
and now you know.
I'm on the fucking wrong side of the fence of the fucking 30s now, and you can
I'm
just
not too far
see,
behind you.
yeah,
I want to say for the record, I am absolutely not down with the kids. Their memes nowadays are shit. And I keep
their
reminding my
meme,
10-year-old godson of this case every single time I meet him.
their memes are brilliant, and we are the old men shouting at the clouds.
No, Brian, you're wrong. You are fundamentally incorrect.
Man,
You cannot tell me that our memes were better or worse, rather, than what is out there now. Come
oh
on
no,
now.
it is the same standard of absolute brain rot shite. Just the fact that our funny number wasn't as had a very specific connotation to, and their funny number is just a purer. I honestly think today's generation, are a purer form of chaos than we ever had.
Well, that is probably the case because now they're living in a fully chaotic internet environment, whereas we would have had like a couple of years of like actual grass touching, and then the internet
Dial up.
arrived.
We had
Yeah,
dial up and going outside.
we had to work for our chaos. We had to actually like it was our chaos was a reward. Now these fuckers have it on tap.
Um, WWEDivas.com was a stalwart of a young adolescent, Brian, and now you can't you can't go anywhere without seeing absolutely everything, and you don't even have to be a fan of it.
Nope,
So
that's
it's
true.
something that it's all available, right at the touch of a thumb,
Hmm.
which is the oddest thing in that. This is how I found my pornography, and
Hmm.
now this is how I find my pornography.
It's just
I
different techniques,
really,
Brian. That's all.
really don't like the idea of Cody Rhodes being on top of me like that. I find it very off-putting.
Do you feel him, sir?
Ugh. Oh God. Oh, a dry read there by Ted DiBiase.
It was that line read that got him that gig in the Marine 2. That's all I'll say.
The only reason you got the Marine is because the Miz had a sore foot,
Because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays.
and he's a terrible actor.
He is a terrible actor.
Yeah, that would be
Hey,
enough.
look, let's just spot the ECW.
Yeah. Oh, what they did to ECW. There was a great video about bookers by the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show, and it made
Mm,
mention that Paul Heyman wouldn't have been as revered as a booker if he kept doing it.
that's a very good point, actually. I'm intrigued by that.
It's a
The
great
kind of yeah,
right between all I could think of while watching the episode was I really need to show Jamie and John this. I have to show them
yeah.
this because it's they were using names of people I didn't fucking know ever existed,
Mm,
and it was something that I can just see where look at that fucking awful belt
yeah.
only existed to make it look better on the big show.
Yes.
Christ.
And it's also again, it also just is there's such a subliminal thing to it as well. Like every other title is gold, that's silver because it doesn't mean as much.
Yeah,
Just the extra little fuck you
yeah.
to a subservient brand.
I never got this. Even with SmackDown versus Raw and then versus ECW, we have to show them that we're better. These are all the WWE.
Yeah.
TNA, I get. TNA, I'm like, oh, I understand the rivalry now with them.
Mm.
I fully get that.
Well, we had this though for a long time in WWE as well because like it's because of the Monday Night Wars like it did like that this whole aspect is all since the Monday Night Wars. It's always been, well, we need a common enemy to rally against, like, so we have WWE versus WCW, and now it's a case of, oh, we won this way much earlier than we thought. Shit. I guess we better just start doing storylines amongst ourselves, and then give that a couple of years gestation, and ECW, like, as an experiment, just pretty much fails. But, well, fails as a brand, but what it does do is give a springboard to talents that would carry the brand for years, like Sheamus and Kofi and Miz and Morrison and everyone in between. So was it a success? Actually, you, I'll let the internet decide whether ECW was a success or not. But what it certainly is that, like, it shows the dearth of creativity in WWE because they had no competition. They had no one to row against or fight against. So said, fuck it, let's have bragging rights, the Raw versus SmackDown pay-per-view, where we're just going to pretend that we care about our brands, even though we're definitely getting traded elsewhere next year, and we'll do this all again, where we fight for bragging rights for Raw and SmackDown. It's like, why would any of you wrestlers care? You're contracted to the company, not the show. You could be working on fucking Velocity and it wouldn't matter. You're still
Yeah.
contracted to the company. You know,
The
But
greatest matches in the world never seen.
no, but again, it's very much the kayfabe of it all. Is that like the more you think of it, the more fucking stupid it actually is.
Yeah,
You know,
that's the thing. We shouldn't be. It can't be. Wrestling is not a thinking man's entertainment.
it's not. No.
Re- and yet, the only people who really watch it and are passionate about it, absolute fucking nerds.
I actually watch wrestling for the plot holes.
Pure intelligence build. The fucking lot of us.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
just
no. It was kind of much to your point about like the Booker thing. You kind of got me kind of thinking there about the Paul Heyman thing. Is that like in a weird way the lack of a sample size kind of suit benefits him a little bit, but much that thing where like wrestling has always been that certain level of like low hang. It's been that kind of really low hanging fruit. But then when it kind of surprises you with something like that's well executed, it will kind of hit at a different mark if that makes sense. So like we've watched wrestling enough now to know, okay, like you're getting stories in a certain amount of flavors. Like there's always going to be a morality play. There's always going to be X, Y, and Z, such and such. But it's a question of how they do it. It's a question of how did the people involved change it. Um, does the audience like it? So are you have to change it in some respect? Which always makes it kind of so frustrating then in terms of how kind of formulaic things are now. Is that like is like even during the kind of like the previous regime, they throw it out. They do something different a little bit every now and then to change the pattern now. Whereas there's a kind of an acceptance nowadays that like okay, people are probably not going to watch this, so let's just keep everything in a bit of a blunt rotation until we get to the big show, and that's more cynical, but it's also more true to the wrestling fan in a weird way. Where like the real wrestling fan nowadays, like the median wrestling fan nowadays, is probably tuning in for every pay per view and the Raw after or the Raw before. That's us. That's us. Dan. Everything in between, you can fucking skip. And I think Triple H actually does kind of know that, which is
the
why
the
everything
fact.
culminates to that point.
I can sum up the modern fan will be watching this right now and go, ah, shit.
Yeah.
That's the modern fan because we know so much about everything that
Yes.
hey, there we are. All great. Due respect to a good fucking
Mm.
lad who did well and unfortunately passed away.
Yeah.
And everyone, we have such an automatic Pavlovian response.
Mm.
Delicious cake. You can just see where you can say certain things. If you say LA Knight, your brain goes, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Edge has his Edge is a great lad of Do You Think You Know Me? Great fucking memes off that.
Mm.
And you can just see where if you can get people reacting in the same way, probably the greatest worker of the modern area is Dominic Mysterio
Yes.
because you have automatic responses. I'm a fucking
Mm.
great penchant of Rey Mysterio being a deadbeat dad. It's just something that you have these automatic jump tos that if you can just get them in and make them stick, then you have a career.
Yeah.
Because you're always going to get clicks, you're always going to get responses. But unfortunately, such is the way of media, reactions and retention are not the same.
No.
The metrics in which wrestling, I believe, was at its greatest was the cable era standard definition television, and you can just see where keep them till the ads, keep them till
Mm-hmm.
the ads, keep them till the ads. That was when wrestling was perfect because the form and function met,
Yeah.
and pay it off at the pay per view. Maximum profits, maximum response time. You only had to run a program for about 6 weeks. Couldn't get stale. Couldn't run it longer. And now
Mm.
we're seeing this long form storytelling where the bloodline are back in WWE.
Mm.
And I couldn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I just don't fucking care. But if you tell me I see Roman Reigns, the first thing I do, I throw up the ones. Gotta respect my tribal chief. You have these automatic things when you see these guys that there's something missing.
it's I kind of make it analogous to like if you're supporting a football team but you don't like one specific player on the team, but you still cheer if he scores the goal. You know, kind of way. It's like it's more of a case where like I don't I'm not really into this, but like I'm watching the product and I paid
Wrestling,
money to be here, so I fucking might as well. You know?
wrestling by design was never about the promotion.
No,
Wrestling is always about the wrestlers.
it is
And
100%.
just the
It's
way,
it's the territories of it. It's like you're going to town to see Ric Flair. You're going to town to see such and such Harley Race, whoever the fuck,
yeah,
Judas
you're
Choice.
like, thanks, like the fucking, the expression, thanks for the gate.
Yeah.
You know, they know who's getting people in the door, but what's
Mm.
happening and what has happened, and it's been a Triple H-ism, and he did it with NXT.
Mm.
You didn't watch NXT Black and Gold Takeover era
Mm.
for any one person. You
Yes.
watched it for the show because it was a
Exactly.
great
Yeah.
show. They were very
Mm.
good shows. Every match did its job for the show.
Yeah.
And we tried watching WWE there, say 2 weeks ago. One of the worst things I've ever fucking watched.
Mm.
And I watch toddler television
Yeah.
regularly, and the regular WWE programming is so fucking crap. And I used to watch Raw, Smackdown, NXT back to back to back to back to back every
Yeah.
week, and I adored it, and it was good. And then it went off the fucking rails, terrible, where we only watched NXT.
Mm.
I don't know who's watching Raw and SmackDown every week and AEW. Can you honestly tell me you're having fun? Are you
Mm.
enjoying yourselves? I get the greatest wrestling thing I've seen recently was Naomi and Drew McIntyre slagging each other on social media.
Mm.
That's the most entertaining thing I've seen in wrestling recently. And it's not even on the fucking show.
Yeah, like it's. I suppose that's also like the modern digestion of wrestling too, isn't it? Is the hyper reality of it all. Where I think the biggest problem that WWE have is the commitment to a weekly show. You know, because I think nowadays I think like I don't think there's many people like there are obviously people out there that are like gonna obsess over the show so much that it is their entire day that they'll watch wrestling, 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 wrestling. That's fair, but I was speaking on behalf of like of the median wrestling fan. Where like we'll dip in and out. We'll go to the show here and there. You've watched enough to know story beat, story beat, story beat. I'll see in 3 months when this all ties in. You know, like again, I'm probably not going to watch WWE until Survivor Series, and the only reason I'm going to be watching Survivor Series is that I'm going to be fucking drinking Long Island's, like surrounded by people, and I'll be probably spending the entire time explaining to complete randomers who are there for the
That's what
Long
they've
Islands, more for the
that's what
show.
they've
Here's what this is all about.
that's WWE now.
Yeah.
WWE is this they're selling themselves on, no, selling is the other word, but
Mm.
it's an experience.
Yes.
Like having gone to and watched the upwards of loads of hours of wrestling,
Yeah.
um the only thing you can change is the smell of the popcorn. Like that's
Yeah.
really, there's not much else you can do. And I'm seeing it with brand new eyes in Ethan.
Mm.
He's fresh eyes to it all, and I get to
Yeah.
kind of rewatch it again with him. That you can just, there's like that Netflix doesn't suit WWE. The segments are so fucking boring and
Mm.
loose and poorly fucking structured.
Yeah.
There's no urgency. You had someone show up on camera, run your fucking segment. It had to be fucking perfectly fucking timed out and perfectly fucking scripted, or at least improv so tightly that
Yeah.
you're running your perfect amount of time to run into the next section to get people to come back in segment 3 to pay
Mm-hmm.
it off for the main event. There's no fucking through line. There's no fucking, for all of the writers and production and the amount of freedom that
Mm.
wrestling has. Wrestling is literally a confined media experience
Yes.
in the fucking ropes. if it's not happening in between the ropes and it's not leading to what's happening in between the ropes, or what's happening there does not lead out elsewhere, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
It's, it's put your fucking drones away, lads. I don't give a fuck about the crowd. Yous
Mm.
are all very good. It's fucking crap.
Yeah.
We are in not
I will
only
say one thing. I think WWE have been very much relying on the crowds actually being the show as opposed to actually being the show themselves.
not
Because,
even justifying it, not even
yeah,
paying it off,
no.
not even earning it.
No,
And it,
they gave. I'll be honest with you, like I'm relieved I didn't go to the Dublin show in the end because I didn't want to pay that amount of money for what they gave for the gave show. Now I know they did. Now in fairness, they did loads of dark matches in between. So like overall, you're there for about 4 hours and you didn't like you would have seen different people pop in and there were surprises just for the crowd and stuff like that. So I think that element of what we do quite well. Like once they got the Netflix commitment almost feels like okay, that's the box ticking bit done. Now let's have a bit of fun with the crowd, and that part they do very well. And that part I'll compliment them on is the fact that like, at the very least, you know that like the crowd are going to be a little bit fucked off if you just give them the Netflix show and that's it, where it's a fucking dusty finish. Or nothing actually happens, nothing gets resolved. Move on next week.
it's
So let's
very
have some fun
yeah.
matches afterwards. Brilliant, good, correct. You're reading the situation. But then also ask back the question, like, why don't you just put on a better show?